Hello, everybody. I'm Tom Wilkins for MLF Action, giving you highlights of a crazy game from last Friday night between the Brass City Kings and the Brooklyn Mariners. Once again, the action takes place here at Kings Bay, Brooklyn, New York. Opening drive of the game. Here's quarterback David Lree going for a deep pass along the far sideline that was almost caught by the receiver, but the Brass City Kings committed pass interference on the play, and even if they didn't, they were offside. Turns out it was a huge play because it was a 39-yard penalty. And a very short time later, here's running back Mike Thompson going off right tackle for a 3-yard touchdown run. Brooklyn takes the early 6-0 lead as the conversion fails. But Brass City has some players, as you will see here. Quarterback David Gondek under center gives off to a very good running back in Jacob Thomas, who is very quick. He bounces along the near sideline, then gets shoved out of bounds, a 22-yard run on the play. And that play was very important because that sets up Gondek throwing his first touchdown pass of the game. And this one is to Marco Magil, who caught it at about the 10, made 3 Brooklyn players miss, and he was able to dive into the end zone. And that tied the game at 6, as Brass City couldn't convert on the 2-pointer. But back comes Brooklyn. You'll notice that every time Brass City had something thrown at them, Brooklyn had an answer. This one is Mike Thompson, off left tackle, and away he went. Big spin move, made a couple other players miss. He gets tackled down about the 8-yard line after a 34-yard run. You can add a half the distance face mask foul to go with that. And that clearly set up David Lree, who actually had 58 yards rushing in this contest, and this will be the first of his 2 touchdowns once we get the highlights rolling to that. Lree is standing in the shotgun, decides to play read option. It's like, okay, read this into the end zone. His 4-yard touchdown run gave Brooklyn a 12-6 lead at quarter time. Now, what you're about to see in the next couple of moments is probably the play that basically defined this game. Brooklyn is about to punt about 4.5 minutes into the second quarter. He gets it away, and as you notice right there, he ends up getting clipped just as you lost it off screen. Here's Jacob Thomas. He breaks through a few tackles and runs it back 85 yards for a touchdown, but as you can see on the flag, the punt return for a score was nullified because Brass City ended up taking the 3 of clubs on a roughing the kicker penalty, and that kept the Brooklyn drive alive and gave them the ball back. Consider the swing of points in this one. David Lree later on in the drive ended up calling his number again, and this time was able to race easily into an open corner end zone. His second touchdown run of the game, this one from 18 yards, Brooklyn took an 18-6 lead. Now, what didn't work for Brass City, wait till you see this. Brass City punts the ball away. Another one-hopper, this time to Kareem Williams. He makes a couple people miss, causes some directional changes, and guess what? Away he goes faster than Friday afternoon traffic on the Bell Parkway. An 85-yard punt return for a touchdown, and Brooklyn suddenly is blowing this thing open 24-6. But Brass City did not give up. Here's David Gondek throwing a middle screen to Jacob Thomas. So he couldn't return to punt for a score? Hey, I'll make a few people miss, and I'll score myself. This time 45 yards for a touchdown, and Brass City ended up cutting the deficit to 24-12. But guess what? Brooklyn had an answer to that. Lree is back to pass, and guess who he finds on another deep ball? Joe Stagliano. Remember him from last week? He's off and running for a 68-yard touchdown pass, 108 yards receiving on the game. Brooklyn makes it 30-12. And as we go later into the first half, here's David Gondek going back to pass. He ends up getting sacked, loses the ball. Justin Graham had the sack, the forced fumble, and its recovery. And with under 2 minutes till halftime, Brooklyn had a chance to really blow the doors off this game. And that's exactly what they did. Here's David Lree. He goes all the way back into the right side for Mike Thompson, who really speeds his way for a 26-yard pickup, a tremendous play for Thompson with the yards after the catch. And then one of the heroes of last week who we have to mention here, Here's Lree finding Brian Argiolagos, yes, the Brooklyn Greek god in the back of the end zone. He catches the touchdown. There were 8 touchdowns in the first half. This particular one had the only successful 2-point conversion. So it was 38-12 Brooklyn over Brass City at halftime. But the Kings didn't travel 3 hours away from Waterbury, Connecticut for nothing. Here's Jacob Thomas again, a good run up the middle for 14 yards to set up Gondek, who decides to call his number himself on this particular play, kind of like a quarterback sneak. He scores, the 2-point conversion is good, and suddenly Brass City's knocking on the door, making it a game again at 38-20. But again, Brooklyn had an answer. And as you will see on this coming play, here's David Lree. As I said, he had 58 yards rushing on the game. Here's another 17 yards where he ends up stepping out of bounds. And that sets up David Lree finding another of the many great Brooklyn receivers. We talked about Argiolagos. We talked about Staglione. Here is John Augusto, who catches one about the 10-yard line and is able to dive into the end zone. Another missed conversion. Brooklyn now with a 44-20 lead. But back comes Brass City. This almost sounds like a good boxing matchup. Better than Mayweather, I gotta say. Chris Borelli throws a deep ball to an open Chris Borelli, and he does the rest. 46 yards for a touchdown. Add the 2-point conversion, and folks, it's a 2-score game at 44-28. And even Brass City tried to get even closer on their next drive, as we see the connection of Gondek to Borelli again. This time a 55-yard pass all the way down to the Brooklyn 17. Their drive ended up stalling into the very early stages of the fourth quarter, as at 3-quarter time Brooklyn had a 16-point lead. But unfortunately, Brass City turned the ball over on downs, and Brooklyn made them pay. Here's Lree to Joe Stagliano along the far sideline, makes a couple Kings miss, and he ends up getting a 25-yard reception out of that. And that sets up another Brooklyn running back we haven't called in Quaran Anderson. He takes it along the outside area, finds a hole, and away he goes. A 15-yard touchdown run that makes it 50-28. And then, pretty much the play that sealed the Kings in, Gondek gets a horrendous snap, and as to chase the ball, he ends up losing 25 yards on that play, and Brass City was pretty much done at that point. And as you will see on this final play, on the last drive of the game, I don't know, drive of the game or scoring drive of the game, here's Lree, who finds Jamal Schulters for a 2-yard touchdown pass. 4 touchdowns passing, 2 rushing for David Lree. Brooklyn ends up winning this game by a final score of 58-28. That improves Brooklyn's record to 4-1 this season, while Brass City falls to 2-3.
Watching Bellator live at Dave & Buster's is incredible. The excitement, the roar of the crowd.
I know. It's like I'm at the fight. It's like I'm right next to Michael Chandler.
You are next to Michael Chandler.
Like he's talking directly to me.
I am talking to you. I'm sitting right here.
Like he's sitting right here.
How is this happening?
Ooh. Every Friday, catch Bellator MMA viewing parties only at Dave & Buster's.
Anybody ever tell you look a tiny bit like Michael Chandler?
Our first interview is running back Jacob Thomas from the Brass City Kings.
Once again, folks, Dexter Gervin here for MLF Weekly. We're here with number 1 for the Brass City Kings. Our main man, Jacob, you had a great night tonight, man. You were everywhere. You were definitely the fire plug, the inspiration for the team. What did you feel like tonight when you got off the bus?
When we got off the bus, I know we were kind of late, so I was just trying to get ready on the bus and get focused on the bus. So we came out here, we didn't have much time, so we stressed a little bit and just try to do as best as we can.
Okay, so let me ask you, you had some big runs tonight. Obviously, you felt comfortable in the offense Coach Shep put out there. Your quarterback, definitely all-star caliber. How do you guys balance out with the team? You guys show multiple looks.
We have a lot of like good talent, so it kind of helps too because they focus on the quarterback, opens me up. When I open up, it opens the quarterback up, so he gets to use his ability too.
Okay. Now the first game when you guys played the Mariners, the final was 14-6. You had some good runs there, but tonight you really opened up. I mean, you really saw the field well.
Yeah, the first game I was just getting back really into it, so this game I already got used to it. Came natural.
Okay. Well, again, man, you had an awesome night tonight. It's going to be a long season, as you can see. How do you like the MLF so far?
Pretty good right now so far.
Okay.
Good.
Well, listen, we got playoffs coming up. You guys still got a long season. You're just getting to the top half of the season. We look to see you guys in the playoffs. And, again, knowing that you're a newfound star here, man, in the league, everybody was loving seeing you tonight. All your family back home got to see you tonight. Anybody you want to say hello to at home?
Say hello to my dad, John Thomas, and my brothers. I get to play with both my brothers. My brother, number 9, John Thomas, and number 6, Jesse Thomas. So it's pretty good to play with them too.
Okay. Once again to the Thomas family, thanks for lending your son to us for the night. And we're looking to see more from you. And we thank you for giving the interview on MLF Weekly.
Thank you.
Good deal.
Our next interview is linebacker/icon Sean McGlenn from the Brooklyn Mariners.
Dexter Gervin here with MLF Weekly with the institution of Mariner football, Sean McGlenn, the true Captain America, man. Listen, we watched you out there tonight. You seem to never age when it comes to Mariner football. What's your secret?
Well, I'll tell you, it's a long off season of hard work and dedication in the gym, working out with the team, and just trying to stay young with these guys. You know, it's tough, but you know what? Until I can't, I'm going to keep playing.
Let me ask you this, Sean. You've been on so many national teams with the Mariners. You won so many championships. The Mariners had a few down years. What did you and Coach Pudgy Walsh do to get the Mariners back to where they are right now? You guys are playing some unbelievable football.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Dex, we went to the national championship 4 out of 5 years. We won 3 out of those 4, and the 5th one we came up a little short. But we just hung together. The last couple of years have been a real struggle for us.
Okay.
And you know, the key is trying to fill the veterans that leave, and we have. And now you start to see the fruits of our effort.
Absolutely. Well, it looks like you guys are definitely going to be the team to beat. And, of course, we got a long season to go. And eventually it'll be playoff time. So where do you see this team finishing up this year? Can this team get it done for their first MLF championship?
You know, I think we can be as good as we'll let ourselves be. I mean, when we make mistakes, we hurt ourselves. I don't think we've really been challenged other than by ourselves. We give up plays that we shouldn't give up, and it's not like we're getting driven on. And it's something we have to come together as a unit, and that's going to help us in the playoffs.
Okay. Well, Sean, listen, we thank you for the interview. We know we're going to see some great things out of you. And that day when you finally do retire, the league definitely wants to take care of you the right way.
Absolutely.
You've been a true institution of the Mariners organization and a beacon for all semi-pro players across the country, not just here in the MLF. And we thank you for being here with us.
Thanks, Dex. I want to give a little shout-out to my girl. You couldn't be here tonight, but we got the win for you, and I'll see you when I get home.
All right, Sean McGlenn, the institution here at Mariner football at Kings Bay. This is Dexter Gervin from MLF Weekly signing off, and we'll see you next time. And again, remember, the MLF Highway is a place where there's lots of collisions. Keep your head on a swivel because you don't want to get caught out there. We'll see you soon.
Our final interview is quarterback David Lree of the Brooklyn Mariners.
Dexter Gervin here for MLF Weekly. I'm here with superstar quarterback, Brooklyn Mariners, the big number 8, David Lree. David, incredible game tonight once again. Man, you've taken this league by storm for sure, getting that superstar status. 58 points tonight. What do you say? I mean, last week you had Mr. Wilson out there tossing the ball for you. You had some commitments and couldn't get it done. But tonight you come out here and have an outstanding performance against a team that you just saw a couple of weeks ago, 14-6. What was the difference between the two nights?
Just like you said, my commitments and everything, it was just a little tough. Some guys couldn't make it, mostly our offensive line. So, it was a little, more even up front, the first time we played them. But tonight, we had, everybody here up front, and it showed. Our big guys, they went to work today. I tip my hat to those guys. Their front four is pretty good.
But our guys, we came to play today. We was firing on all cylinders, and we played fast and we tried to finish faster.
How do you get Stagliano to when you throw? It's like an MLB pitcher, and these guys, Stagliano just seems to just like it just sucks in your passes, man. What goes on between you two? What do y'all talk about before the game?
Well, last year we built, a great amount of chemistry, and the good thing about it is we talk a lot. So I'm always asking, Joe, what do you see? He's always like, Dave, what do you see? So those little conversations go a long way. So when we're out there, even on the fly, even if it's just like a little like he'll give me the look or I give him the look. We're on the same page just because all of the talks that we have. And,
okay.
He's taking off, man. He's really doing a great job.
So let me ask you this: deep down inside, I gotta ask you this because I think deep down inside you want to be a running back.
Not at all. I just like to win. So whether that's me running 30 times or that's me throwing 30 times or that's me handing the ball off 30 times, I want to win. So whatever we need to do to win, that's what I'm trying to do.
How does that transcend to the rest of the team? I mean, the Mariners have been, over the last couple of years, been in a rebuilding process, and now they seem to be hitting their strides. Where do you fit in that puzzle of building this to a championship team?
I'm just another piece to the puzzle. My role is no bigger than anyone else's. Whether it's the last guy or the first guy. I'm just another piece to the puzzle. I'm just trying to help us, get back to the dominance that the Mariners, once had. And I feel like we're here. I feel like we're back. I feel like the rebuilding stages are over. I feel like we're here. Last year's semifinals we came up short. It was unfortunate I wasn't able to play against the Predators last time, but I'm definitely looking forward to it in a couple weeks.
Okay. It's going to be a fantastic thing. So we look forward to seeing you take the field, finish up the season strong, and, of course, getting this team to be playoff bound, which it looks like that's where they're heading to. So we wanted to present this to you from one of our sponsors, Nth Degree, as the Nth Degree player of the game, David Lree.
Thank you.
We thank you for coming on MLF Weekly, and we look forward to seeing you for the rest of the season.
This is for the big guys up front. Appreciate this, fellas.
We'll make sure y'all have a case next week.
Yes, sir.
Good deal. Thank you for, again, Dexter Gervin, MLF Weekly. We'll see you next week. And, again, this is the highway to be at. Keep your head on the swivel because there's a lot of collisions out here. We'll see you next week, fans. MLF #1. Bye-bye.
Every day, over 50 million kids are left alone after school. No one to teach them or guide them.
But for millions of kids, the opportunity to be great is just one door away. Fox Sports has partnered with Boys and Girls Clubs of America to help open doors to education and opportunity while preparing kids to have a great future.
We can all help change the lives of today's youth by giving them a hand.
Donate to Boys and Girls Clubs today. Greatfutures.org/Fox Sports.
This week's Power Rankings now include a PowerPoint system. We cannot tell you what it's based on, however, rest assured it takes 3 Predators, 2 Spartans, and a Bear to figure it out each week. Now, on with the rankings. At number 14 is the Jersey Black Devils. After 3 close games, they finally feel what it is like to win and are starting to gel. It will be all hands on deck, though, this week if they want to put together a 2-game winning streak. At number 13 is the Westchester Warriors. A bye can sometimes be a good week to look at film and try to fix the problems that may have occurred. Hopefully the defense will come out firing as they must get stops in their games. At number 12 is the Central Jersey Vikings. This team has played several top teams only to be beaten by themselves. Bad bounces create opportunity for some and disaster for others. Let's hope the first holds true this week. At number 11 is the Westchester Steelers. This team never gives up, which is a sign of class and perseverance, even in the toughest times. Now they just have to get the ball in the end zone consistently and finish games. Number 10 is the New Jersey Longhorns. As the team is still in rebuilding mode, it must start and end with the offensive and defensive lines. Time and pressure can put this team back in the hunt. We all know how dangerous they can become once the playoffs start. Number 9 is the Trenton Capitals. They have reached the 500 mark and are ready to show everyone that this team is one to be reckoned with. From defense to offense, minor tweaks are what makes this team trouble when games are close. At number 8 is the New Haven Venom. After yet another tough single-digit loss, they have their sights set on an upset this week. The only problem is they're playing the hottest team in the league. They just have to believe the saying, on any given Sunday. At number 7 is the New Jersey Wolves. Did anyone have this team this far down in the rankings at this junction of the season? Playing the schedule dealt to them as they always do and not shying away from anyone will provide valuable intel on their opponents, as these coaches are the best in the league on adjusting come playoff time. At number 6, the Brass City Kings. The pride of Waterbury, which was the largest producer of brass in the United States, found the team from Brooklyn not to their liking. Neither was the near 5-hour bus ride down and around and back again. Ready to provide some home cooking, you may get to see them again this week. Number 5, the Somerset Bears. The industry standard on how to run a franchise in semi-pro football, the Bears are really starting to growl. Splitting the series with the Wolves is not only a confidence builder, but sets them up for playoff position as well as tiebreakers. Number 4 is the surprise Lehigh Valley Steelers. The Steelers have had some signature wins as well as a clunker to open the season, but the coaching staff seems to be pushing the correct buttons now. Another week and another test, as this week gets tougher on the road. Number 3 is the Brooklyn Mariners. What can you say about a team that has speed, size, and players that have been around since boomboxes and parachute pants were cool? Just ask Dexter, he still has his. Seriously, the Mariners, after taking the Predators to the limit, are one of the most explosive teams out there. Number 2 is the New Jersey Spartans. Going by the adage, you have to play with what you're dealt, this team has dealt with everyone and taken no prisoners. Having only one blip on the radar, they must maintain focus and not become content with playing at the level of their opponent. This coaching staff will have none of that, and with the playoffs in their sights, it is now time to concentrate on a high seed. And our number 1 team is the Predators. As the only undefeated team in the league, they have talked the talk and walked the walk every game. They have both size and speed where they need it, and also a filthy running back who does not like to be tackled or pushed off the train tracks. After a couple weeks off, they have a huge test this week to see if anyone can stop them.
Some people have to travel for work.
I love a good buttery Chardonnay.
Some people get to travel for work.
Not too oaky. I don't love the oaky. Just the buttery.
Sometimes it's the little things that make a big difference. Courtyard, make room for a little fun.
I'm going for a dip. Did you bring your suit? No?
Okay, the midseason break is over, and we return to play. As the stretch run for playoff seedings is now the hot ticket. Sitting atop the American Conference alone is the Predators. Over in the National Conference, we have the Spartans holding a commanding lead. And now, here are the picks by the Bay. Our first game is the 2-3 Venom at the 4-1 Mariners. The Venom face one of the league's hottest teams in the Mariners. In order to come out on top, they must find a way to shut down the potent Mariners passing game. The Mariners defense will, however, in the end prove too much for the Venom, as the Mariners should not have any problem in this one. Mariners win, giving 14. Our next game is the 1-3 Devils at the 5-1 Spartans. The Spartans, looking to increase their lead on the number 1 seed in the National, take on a struggling Black Devils team. The Spartans, averaging a whopping 26 points per game, should have their way with the Devils' defense. However, the Football Insiders are calling this a trap game for the Spartans. Well, we're going to roll with the green machine and say no traps here. Spartans win, giving 13. Next up is the 3-1 Lehigh Valley Steelers versus the 2-2 Wolves. After a tough loss at the hands of the Bears, the Wolves will be ready to take a bite out of the Steelers. Within the friendly confines of Seidler Field, many teams with championship aspirations have been put to rest on the natural grass and well-worn dirt. The Steelers must be ready to outwit and out-hustle a team built on tradition and turning in their best performances when the chips are down. We have the Wolves giving 7.5 points. Next up is the Bears 3-2 at the Predators 6-0. This is the Bay's game of the week and has the Bears riding high after their victory over the Wolves straight into a buzzsaw known as the Predators at 6-0. The Bears may just be that team though. Both the Predators and Bears are giving up 8.7 and 8.2 points per game respectively, and this battle will be won on the defensive side of the ball. The Predators can and will score from anywhere on the field, but we're taking the Bears in this one, giving just 1.5 points. Our next game is the Capitals at 2-3, traveling to the Brass City Kings, who are also 2-3. The Capitals are a team on the rise, even if they're just in their first season. Both teams need to win to keep in the hunt for a playoff spot, and having seen both teams play this season, it looks like the Capitals could even up their record this week. However, the Kings will be tough at home where they usually bring out the brass. The Kings will know that they were in a battle as the Warriors from Waterbury get the edge, giving 6 points. Our next game is the 1-3 Westchester Warriors traveling to the 1-3 New Jersey Longhorns. Speaking of Warriors, everyone knows that it is now the 35th anniversary of this famous movie. Where has the time gone? Even with the celebration, the Longhorns team should be the better of the two on the field and must earn a solid victory. The Warriors will not lay down. At long last, though, the Longhorns put it all together this week and come away with a big win, giving 13 points. Our final game is the Westchester Steelers at 1-4, traveling to the Central Jersey Vikings at 1-3. The Vikings were just a few plays short in their 3 losses, but this week have a Steelers team that is also reeling. Look for the Vikes to take them to task out on the grass field in South Plainfield. The Steelers will not go down with a fight, however. The Vikings will get all the bounces this week they need and win this one with ease, giving 17 points. Those are your predictions by the Bay. As the sun sets on this week's show, let me leave you with the Nebraska Cornhusker prayer they stayed before they walked through the tunnel. Dear Lord, the battles we go through life, we ask for a chance that's fair, a chance to equal our stride, a chance to do or dare. If we should win, let it be by the code, faith and honor held high. If we should lose, we'll stand by the road and cheer as the winners go by. Day by day, we get better and better. The team that can't be beat won't be beat. That's our show for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back hopefully next week with our next episode.